Hey guys, and welcome back. On this channel, I have made a couple noob-friendly tutorials for Blender, and it covers the extreme basics. Today, I want to move up just one level. These are three things that when I found them starting Blender, I thought they were game changers. I thought I would be the best modeler ever because of these three shortcuts that just made so many things so much more easy. The first one, guys, is pretty obvious if you've watched any tutorials on Blender, but modifiers. If you go over to this wrench tab, you have something called modifiers, and you can add them. It splits them up into groups based on what they do, and there's no way I can cover all of these modifiers in one video, but let's make some sort of a weird shape real quick, just so we can kind of see what these things do. We'll just scale the middle out, and we'll scale that out too. We have sort of a rock, I guess. Some of the most used modifiers, I would say, at least in Roblox, would be decimate, because we have to meet those requirements sometimes. Subdivision surface is a huge one, which is the opposite of decimate. If you click this, it makes your object kind of rounded out. It adds more geometry to it. And then you can edit this box around it with loop cuts to edit your shape even more. You can also pull these around by pressing G, and it's just an easy way to work with a higher density mesh. Let's say we wanted to have, I don't know, 50 of these in a line. Let's not actually do 50 because my computer might crash, but there's another plugin called Array. This is so nice if you just want to keep things lined up. You can put these on curves as well to follow a certain predetermined path. You can change how far they're spaced apart, what angle they're spaced apart. There's just so many options when it comes to modifier. And there are videos out there that go through, oh my gosh, look at that without the subdivision. There are modifier tutorials out there that go through all modifiers in Blender within like 5 minutes. I would definitely recommend checking those out to see how you can use modifiers and how they can help you. This next one, guys, I honestly thought I was cheating when I found this out. I'm gonna make a very simple tree real quick, just to kind of show this one off. All right, so let's say we have made a tree, or any asset for that matter. Proportional editing. Guys, this is huge, and I cannot get into every way you would use it, but check this out. Let's say we want this tree to have a bit of a curve in it. I'll grab the middle. I'm gonna click this button, or I could click O on our keyboard to turn that on. And right here, you could select all of this stuff. We're just gonna use smooth for now. But if I press G, you're gonna see this circle pop up, and notice that we're not just moving the face that we're grabbing. If I use my scroll wheel, I can make that bigger, and now I can really easily have a curve to this tree. Maybe it's a windy day. Or if I wanted to spin, I could rotate, and as you can see, it's rotating the whole tree. A bigger reason to use proportional editing would be having, let's say, a plane that's subdivided a good bit. We'll go somewhere around there. Let's go to vertices select, and now we can drag up in random areas, and you can use this as hills or terrain in Roblox to make your ground so much less flat. This is also where you could change this to like random, for example, and you could make a vaporwave type of deal. We could stack this with something we learned about previously, like modifiers. Let's put a wireframe. Now this is very dense, so it's gonna be hard to tell, but this is how the vaporwave stuff is made. I am gonna do a simpler one so you can actually make it make sense. There you go. But with modifiers and proportional editing, you can do honestly anything. It's actually insane. Modifiers also make up a lot for not knowing how to model things. For example, if you were a god tier modifier user, they also stack, you would probably be a better modeler than me, because there's so much stuff that you could generate or make without knowing all the keybinds and how to move all the vertices to the right spots. They're just amazing. The last thing that was a game changer for me in Blender was learning how texturing worked. When I started Blender, I went to this tab, clicked new, and I would put a color on my object. Let's make it red. And then I was like, what the heck? I can't see it. So I hold Z, go to material preview, and now it's red. However, when I export this to Roblox or whatever I'm using, this doesn't show up. It's not actually red. So learning how to texture and how to make them come from Blender to Roblox was a huge game changer. I hate to keep saying it, But if we go to UV editing, this is going to look super complex. So I'm going to break it down in the easiest way possible. And keep in mind, this is for the beginners. A lot of the more advanced people already know this. We're gonna open an image from our computer. I like using gradient texture palettes. It's got pretty much every color on it. Now, if I click A, S, and 0, that makes everything onto one vert. So I just drag that vertice with G onto whatever color I want it to be. I go back to our texture tab, click new, this little yellow dot, image texture, and then this drop down and select my image. Now, if I go back into the material preview, you can see that whatever I do to this dot, it does to that cube. If we wanted more than one color on it, let's go ahead and project from view, and this looks the same on both sides now. So I could scale this up, and whatever you see in this box is on here. And when you export this, it will look just like this on Roblox. Of course, you'll have to upload this image. The dogs are going nuts. But a big reason that you would use project from view is how to get like those more cartoon gradients. So we would scale this in. We could make these have a nice gradient, as you could see. Now it's very cool. Then you would just export this as an FBX file, and it would look just like this on Roblox. Texturing, even in its most basic form, will make your game stand out. Because not only did you learn how to use Blender to make assets, you learned how to use your own color types or textures. Look at that, we have a crystal. So guys, all of these are pretty beginner-friendly tips. If you have 10 minutes, I would just hop into Blender and click random modifiers just to see what they do. The generate modifiers are definitely my most used ones. I use skin quite a bit when making trees, solidify on flat surface so there's no invisible faces on Roblox, subdivision surface when I easily want more polys to work with, triangulate I never use. Roblox automatically does that when you import your mesh. Remesh I use a ton. I actually have a full video just on that pretty much that went up last month, I believe. Mirror, array, and bevel. I think those are my main modifiers. But guys, that is gonna wrap up today's video. If you did enjoy and want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.